You know, there's a new space race happening right over our heads. But forget the moon or Mars. This one is all about the phone that's in your pocket, a high-stakes battle to connect every last inch of the globe. We've all been there, right? You're driving through some remote patch of country, hiking a trail, or maybe you're just in a weird corner of your own city, and poof, the signal is gone. Well, that dead zone, that exact moment of frustration, is what two massive companies are racing to eliminate for good.
So let's meet our contenders, AST SpaceMobile and Starlink. Both are launching these incredible satellites with a pretty wild goal to basically turn them into giant cell towers in the sky that can talk directly to the phone you're holding right now. But, and this is the interesting part, the way they're going about it couldn't be more different.
All right, so here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll look at the new space race itself. Then, we'll dive into the nitty-gritty of their technologies, their blueprints for connecting the planet. After that, things get a little intense when we uncover a pretty shocking hidden cost to all this. And finally, we'll look at what our future might actually look like with these networks flying overhead.
Okay, first up, let's set the stage. This is way more than just convenience we're talking about. This is a battle for billions of users and a mission to completely erase what we call the digital divide. The core idea here is just so powerful. No new phone, no special gadget you have to buy, just seamless, universal coverage. I mean, imagine your phone just automatically switching over to a satellite network the second you lose your regular signal. That is the incredible prize these two companies are chasing.
So now let's get into the actual blueprints. Because how AST SpaceMobile and Starlink plan to pull this off, well, it reveals two completely different philosophies, two totally separate visions for the future of how we all communicate. Before we compare them, we've got to understand this one key piece of tech, the phased array antenna. The easiest way to think about it is like a digital flashlight. It can create and aim thousands of tiny, pinpoint beams of signal from a totally flat surface, and it does it all with zero moving parts. It's basically the magic that makes these satellite-to-phone links even possible. And one more quick definition. This one is all about the business side of things, the B2B2C model. It sounds like a bunch of jargon, but it's really simple. It just means instead of selling a service directly to you, a company sells it wholesale to, say, AT&T or Vodafone, and then they include it as part of your normal phone plan. Okay, now look at this, because this chart lays out the two visions so clearly. On one side, you have AST SpaceMobile. They're building a few absolutely enormous satellites with these massive antennas. We're talking up to 223 square meters to act like one giant cell tower from orbit, and they sell that service wholesale to carriers. On the other side, you've got Starlink, who are building this huge swarm of thousands of smaller satellites. And for their direct-to-phone service, they're starting out with just low-speed text messaging. So what does this actually mean for you, the user? Well, with Starlink's high-speed service, it's a very active choice. You buy a special dish, you pay a monthly fee, and you get fast internet. But AST SpaceMobile, their goal is to be totally invisible. You don't do anything at all. Your phone just works everywhere. It seamlessly roams onto their network using your existing carrier, and you probably never even notice. Okay, this all sounds pretty amazing, right? But this incredible convenience, it comes at a potentially catastrophic cost. Because as we fill our skies with these new constellations, we're building a system that is incredibly fragile with almost no room for error. And wow, this chart just perfectly illustrates the problem. What you're looking at is the density of objects in low Earth orbit. And those huge peaks, the ones that are just towering over everything else, even all the existing space junk, that's the Starlink constellation. Our orbital highways are getting dangerously crowded. And it's not just me saying this is risky. Researchers have a pretty stark warning for us. They describe our growing reliance on these perfect automated collision avoidance systems as building an orbital house of cards. One mistake, one glitch, and the whole thing could come tumbling down. So to actually quantify this risk, to put a number on it, scientists came up with a brand new metric called the crash clock. You can think of it like a doomsday clock, but for space. It measures how much time we would have until a major catastrophic collision if all of our avoidance systems suddenly failed, say during a huge solar storm. So back in 2018, before the whole mega constellation boom really kicked into high gear, the CR crash clock was at 121 days. That was our safety buffer. We had months to react if something went wrong.
And today, that clock is now at just 2.8 days. Let that sink in for a second. Our margin for error has basically vanished. We've gone from a buffer of 4 months to less than 3 days. So here's the bottom line. It means if those automated systems go offline for just 24 hours, there is now a 30% chance of a catastrophic collision, the kind of collision that creates a massive field of debris, threatening everything else in orbit. This is that nightmare scenario you may have heard of called the Kessler syndrome, a chain reaction that could make entire orbits unusable for generations. It means our whole space infrastructure now relies on everything working perfectly all the time.
And all of this brings us to the final critical question. We have to weigh the incredible, undeniable promise of this technology against the very real peril that it's creating right above our heads. Because the vision for the future here, it's absolutely breathtaking. Researchers are already drawing up blueprints for a time when entire mobile networks operate completely from space, beaming down 50 to 100 megabit per second speeds to regular phones, even in crowded cities, with absolutely zero reliance on towers on the ground. A truly global, unstoppable network. And so this leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? The promise is a world with no more dead zones, a world where every single person can be connected. The peril is a cluttered, fragile orbit where one single failure could have cascading consequences for decades to come. So, is the reward worth that risk? That's the choice we're making, right now, in the skies overhead.